co-founder of Aviary, a.aviary.com. Just to give you a little background behind Aviary. We come from worth1000.com. Worth1000 is a Photoshop contest site. Been around since 2002, pretty popular, seen on Boing Boing, and passed around the internet. And we would get about daily contests being submitted, but a lot of people that were coming to view those contests kept asking us, how do I create some really cool works of art? Where do I borrow Photoshop? And basically we found that there was a need for really accessible software to the masses. The price point was pretty high, it was pretty high barrier to entry, as well as the learning curve. A lot of tutorials, a lot of books being published, just textbooks on just how to use design software. So that's where basically Aviary came about. And we were like, if we can provide the software to the masses, it'll be a huge hit. So right now, Aviary has been in private beta since February, and we have over 100,000 users. And let me just go ahead and give a little demo. So this mushroom house was created in our design software called Phoenix. It's our image editor, and one of the neat things about having the software online is you can provide different types of access points. So here, you can see that the artist can provide the viewing as well as editing abilities to this image. So the artist is enabling other artists to reuse or create on this image. And it's really pretty powerful stuff. It's never been, I guess, done before, where people can completely track everything in the system. So right now you can see the sources that were used in creating this mushroom house. You can see the mushroom, the shingles here, and the smoke, as well as the derivatives. So any other image that was created in the system using that original mushroom as a source. So you can scroll down and see the different types of artists that were creating neat stuff. So this artist right here put the mushroom on fire. So it was kind of neat. Let me just log in. To show you. But basically, we're tracking all rights, royalties, and derivatives throughout the entire process. And one of the questions before was asked with copyright issues is that we actually know where the source is coming from everything. So, and the beauty of, I guess, having it online is you can just, with one click, you can actually see how the image was created. So I don't know how many people are familiar with Photoshop, but we polled our Worth1000 community, over 500,000 users, and we found out, surprisingly, that 90% of the artists only use 10% of the features in Photoshop. So we basically took that knowledge and built the software. You can see this was how quick it loaded up. It's directly in the browser. And you can turn on and off layers, complete layer-based editing. So if I wanted to go ahead and now edit this door, I can stretch it out and save it right there. And just to keep things simple, what I can do as well is just flatten all these layers and go ahead and now use the magic wand brush. Here, select this area. I can delete this area if I wanted to. And what's kind of neat as well is that we're also tracking the history. So I can go back, if I didn't like that deletion, I can go back in time and do that. So I can play with this forever, but I'll just show you some other images that were created just to show, I guess, the power of the software. So this image right here, you can see some of them didn't really like it. And just to remind you, this was all done in the browser. And I guess one of the main focuses for us wasn't to go ahead and just port Photoshop to the web. We were creating this rich suite of applications to allow all different types of artists to create online. So right now we have a number of applications in different forms of development. But another application that we launched in beta is our pattern generator called Peacock. It allows for people to create really neat photo edits as well as, here, let me just start off. They don't really have to know how to draw. It's a simple drag and drop interface, sort of like a Yahoo Pipes, but for design, where you start off with an original node, here this plaid image, and all I do is change these sliders and I can change the color of this canvas. But now if I want to create an effect, let's say this kaleidoscope right here, you can see that if I just change that, right there, now it's this sort of swirl that was created. And it's not destructive, so usually when you're editing an image, you're ruining the pixels, but I can go ahead and change that original plaid to a different color, and you can see it's automatically being changed. So aside for these swirls and designs, some really amazing math-based artwork was created using our application. So you can see this guitar wasn't drawn. It was actually just sliders and nodes and drops were used. Some really, or textures, some wood textures that people created for this image or this zipper. And just to know what's coming next, we're launching our vector editor. So people will be able to collaborate on vectors directly in the browser, as well as 3D models.
Cool, thanks very much.